Simple solution in the crazy world that we're living, what you can do to cut back on your grocery bill in order to stuff delicious funds into your Build a Jeep bank account. Welcome back to Life in Low Range. My name is Neil with SFJ4x4.com. Make sure you take a moment to like and subscribe our video. The average household is spending between $400 and $800 a month right now on our groceries. Can you imagine how much of that money could go into your Jeep and build it exactly how you want it? And we're gonna show you arguably how quickly not to add up your bill. Right now, I am driving this pile of parts in the shape of a Jeep. I'm doing that because I value exactly where my dollar is going and how it's being used. Somebody else is not going to be paying my grocery bill, and somebody else isn't paying my Jeep budget bill. The responsibility falls solidly on my shoulders to ensure that I do the upgrades that are necessary to make me happy. And therefore, I have to downgrade my grocery bill right now in order to feed the Jeep. Ooh, buddy, that's a week's worth of eating for $13.95. I covered most of the food groups. Got our jelly, we got the crunchy peanut butter because I want a little bit of texture, a little fine dining. Got our bread, I got my Gala apples, they were on sale, and my carrots. We don't want scurvy, so we gotta have some vegetables in there, but don't worry, I got them marked down. And I didn't know what the wife was gonna want, if we were gonna have a fancy dinner, so I made sure she likes spicy things. So I got a couple of hot and spicy chickens, got a couple of the beef, and then I got a regular chicken, a shrimp, and a lime chili shrimp if we were gonna be real fancy. At this rate, I should be able to lose a couple pounds, save some money, and do some cool upgrades to my Jeep, and ultimately, you can figure out how to do them to yours. I understand that this $13.95 per week budget is probably a better option for a single person, but at $13.95 times 4, so $56 a month, that could be putting almost $350 at a minimum back into my pocket. You might say, Neil, that is outrageous. What's outrageous is the fact that I don't have a winch, and I'd like one. If you were to follow such a tight budget, what would you be spending it on? You should leave that as a comment. Realistically, a wheel by today's market runs between $150 and $450. So if you want those bead locks, prepare to spend closer to $500 per wheel. Now, tires themselves, that's gonna tip the scales a little closer to $200 and $400 per tire. So you might have to budget out a few months just to afford those as well. I remember a guy in high school, you would know when he got a paycheck or when he had saved up enough money because he just would replace one wheel at a time. Honestly, at that time we thought he was crazy, but maybe now he might actually have been a genius. These food prices have got me really reconsidering that. While I'm breaking down the numbers and the goals and what my goal is, and we do want to know what your goal is, what are some things you're doing in your life to save money on groceries so that we can learn from you as well? So I was working in the shop this weekend. I had the door up and the weather was nice. And so of course, what does that mean? That means people wander in randomly. A guy comes in and he says, hey, I've got a Jeep I'd like to sell. Now, people have been trying to sell me Jeeps for as long as I've been into Jeeps. Usually I don't like to because quite frankly, we have enough things going on, and as much as I desire a junkyard, I don't actually want a junkyard here and now. Anyways, he comes in, he says, hey, I've got this Jeep, and Jeep people think it's cool, and it's an 88 Jeep Cherokee Wagoneer. That means it's got the fun little headlights, and it's got the wood paneling. So here's the thing, if you've been watching any of our other lives, our social, you'll know that we have one of these in-house that won't run. We've been to a couple different shops, so it's here now. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's talk about this. He's like, it has to be out of there today or tomorrow. I was like, all right, I guarantee it'll be out tomorrow. This was yesterday. So we did all the title work. Great, works out well. He calls me. I already told him it'd be out by 4 o'clock. It's like 4 o'clock right now. He's like, where you at? Like, why isn't it out of here? He's like, you can come winch this thing out. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come winch this out. Meanwhile, I fully well know that I'm not going to go winch that thing out. Instead, I'm gonna take the least qualified vehicle that we have. I've shoved an air tank, the most rudimentary amount of tools, like 4 total, and a tow strap. I feel like I should be able to do something with this junk Jeep, at least get it out of this guy's garage and get it pulled a little bit into the road, and then we'll see where it goes from there. We're gonna take the least qualified vehicle in the shortest amount of time on the hottest day of 2024 so far. Here we go. 1988 Jeep Cherokee Wagoneer. Guy apparently sold the house. Need to get out. Honestly, I'm kind of jealous of the garage. It's a pretty sharp little joint. This is probably the creepiest, and yet here it is. Yep. There's no keys. We gotta find the keys, maybe. We're gonna see if the tires get some air, and then we gotta see if we can dig around in there a little more. Guy said he thought the keys were in there. Is that like Napoleon? I don't know. Ooh, we got tunes. Conway Twitty. You ever listen to Conway Twitty? Yeah, you do. All right, let's see if tires will hold air. Let's start there. Found a battery. Doesn't mean it's a good battery, but I found a battery in the shop. I heard something. Did you hear it? It was dinging. All right, watch yourself. Woo! She's a runner. I don't hear the fuel pump. Since the Jeep's already pointing this direction, we're just gonna go ahead and get this here Jeep-a-rooney backed up. We'll just go face to face and precariously strap it from this Jeep to that Jeep, and you're gonna tow me home.
You gotta steer.
I'm steering.
Wheels are straight.
Oh no, hold on. Hold on. What did you do to my Jeep? Why is it smoking now? I don't know why you were cranking on the power steering pump so hard. I'm turning the steering wheel, which is not actually turning anything. This could be a problem. I'm sorry, little POS, that Davey touched you and hurt you. All right, we got a problem. I didn't have the ball joints or something being so frozen that it won't steer. That was not on my bingo card. Albert is on speed dial on my bingo card. Hello, are you in your truck? So that one's only ever gonna become a pop can at this point. That's just the reality situation. But Renix era XJs are harder and harder to come by. So I'm happy that I got it, but now the game plan is to get it, the valuable parts, ripped off of it as quick as possible, get it out of our property before it really becomes an eyesore. '24 Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival. Our booth is getting set up here. We are right next to our friends here at Skyjacker. Actually, coming into the shot in a moment is Daddy Jeep Garage. So if you are unfamiliar with him, you want to check out his YouTube video as well. This was not staged, but this is a heck of a good, the first gift of Bantam.
It's the best I could do.
That's awesome.
I know there's better coming.
There is, so if you're unfamiliar, we made a joke on one of the podcasts that, so first of all, I love coffee cake, and I had this horrible coffee cake experience, and so we made a joke that we wanted people to bring us coffee cakes, and for coffee cake, we'll give you swag. And there has been nothing shy of 11 people who are registered to bring us homemade coffee cakes.
Yeah, this doesn't count for swag.
This doesn't, that's right, that's right. But I appreciate the gesture nonetheless, nonetheless. So Rob is in charge of all trails. We were actually just talking, he's got a super fancy title right now, which is?
My official title is the Off-Road Manager.
The Off-Road Manager, which will be emblazoned across this here YJ, or a Jeep that once identified as a YJ.
Right.
And so now you are all the trails manager.
On-site trails, off-site trails, as well as the playground.
Okay. So we've got 3 different locations. So Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival, as a group, bought a off-site property years ago. And if you guys are lucky enough, you'll do a ride along with us. But I'm certain that on Rob's channel, you probably have some footage for the off-site.
I hope so. I haven't had a lot of time, and I don't know if I will have a lot of time, but I will certainly try.
All right. So somebody's going to get you footage for that site as well. But that's the cool thing about Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival is there's a little bit of everything for everybody. And we're going to bring you along and show you what that's like. Our booth, we're going to walk through that. We've got Eugene the Jeep. Eugene is sporting just a sick combination of parts. This is a build we did a couple years ago. It is a TJ Unlimited, or LJ. You'll recognize it from previous shows, but also probably its most its most notable experience was that it was actually on the cover of an NPR series about traveling America. So really nice Jeep. It was at the Toledo Jeep Festival. We unveiled it. It's got an ultimate 44 JK axle in it. Super well accessorized. It just recently got, my #1 favorite winch on the market is that 8274 kind of honorary winch. Now, the cool thing about that is that is actually a 10,000 pound synthetic line winch. So you get all the winch speed, you get all the gear reduction of the 8274, but you get 2,000 extra pounds, plus you get that synthetic, that Spidura rope that Warren makes. Super cool product there. Additionally, we've got our 91 Grand Wagoneer. This is the creme de la creme, the coup de grace, the Grand Poupa Limited, sunroof, AC, has all the goodies you could ever want out of a luxury SUV before SUVs were cool. And we have taken it and we've turned it up a notch by giving it complete computer control, fuel injection. It has the Holley Sniper series fuel injection throttle body on it at this point, full pump as far as their intake pump is concerned. So this one is a perfect time period piece with all the creature comforts and modernizations you could ever ask for. Super tickled. This one's up out of West Virginia, and we thank both of those owners for allowing us to use their Jeeps for the show. We've got Dad's LJ. If you didn't know, we've got a thing for LJs. You got to check out the previous videos, the greatest Jeep. Not the greatest Jeep ever built, the best off-road vehicle ever built, and you'll know why we love these LJs so much. But everything here is long-armed. I think every Jeep that we're gonna have on display for you, minus the vintage resto pieces, are gonna be long-armed. If we can long-arm the world, I would. It's just flat out the best option. Super fun and accessorized. People love this one. It just speaks to a certain number of Jeep enthusiasts. We then have our wedge. We'll have the big rig sitting back here. We're gonna bring Jeffrey's Gladiator in. We're gonna bring the Mad Scientist Gladiator in. And we're gonna have the Angry Turtle set up in the background. So a lot of different Jeeps to look at. We'll share with you as the weekend unfolds, and we'll go from there. Well, here, I think this is our friend Zach Heisley with the Dana Spicer booth. Woo, look at that bicycle. All the bicycles. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good to see you.
Excellent. Do you have the family with you?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, I finally decided to bring him this year. So
that is awesome. So Zach is one of the lead performance engineers at Dana Corporate. Would that be
Dana Spicer? Yeah.
Dana Spicer. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when we talk about why the Ultimate Axles are one of my favorite parts that we can add to a Jeep, this guy is directly responsible for it. So
it's all my fault. It really
is.
It's
super your fault. But so you're going to be working the booth. Mm-hmm. How many other people are with you?
We've got 4 of us total today. We'll be covering the booth here at the show, and then we also have the boot camp that's down the street where the trail rides are. We have a little kind of a booth over there doing a couple demonstrations. So we've got 2 spots this year.
I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah. That's excellent. So this is the thing, and I do tell this story. Zach doesn't know it, but the first time Zach and I ever met was 2011.
Would have been the first show, right? Yeah.
It was the first show. Do you know what I remember about you? Oh my God, I can't wait to do it on camera. You were so grumpy.
Oh, It was so hot. It was so hot, and I didn't have enough help, and I had like just unloaded the trailer, and Neil, full of enthusiasm, comes over to see me, and is like a puppy asking questions, and I was like,
listen to that.
I was like, dude, all I want to do is get some water and sit down. But we chatted.
I think we had a second. That also happened at York though too.
Yeah.
That also happened at York.
Which is always the hottest weekend of the year.
Worst.
Every single year. PE Jeep's always the hottest weekend of the year.
Isn't that funny?
So good
Oh my
times.
God, yeah.
Good
So
times.
I love that you got the family out and everything, and you got anything super cool about this one that you want to show us?
Yeah, actually, super cool about this one that maybe you won't know about is I actually have a high pinion rear axle in this one.
Really?
Ultimate Dana 60 full float for JT. A little something we get to do called research and development. So it's fun sometimes. So it's going to be hard to see just peeking under there, but if you look at a high pinion rear axle versus a low pinion, you get about 4 inches raise in where your drive shaft mounts.
So the argument is always the tooth cut of standard cut and versus high pinion. So right now we're doing a high pinion, so we're doing basically a reverse rotation pattern. So we're running the load
on technically the coast side of the
technically
gear,
the coast.
but this is the same 10-inch ring gear Super 60 that we use in the front, and the way the more modern gears are cut, particularly this 10-inch 60, there's not the negative effects that you would have even 5 or 10 years ago with running on the coast side.
So I'm going to totally glom on to what he said is that the modern cut. And that's one of the things that I tell people all the time. When I got interested in axles like 15, 18 years ago, our technology to actually do the machining was very rude. And it's light years ahead at this point. And so like it's one of the things in the industry a lot of people don't exactly know. We can see lights and flashy, fun lights and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But gear technology has changed.
I'll tell you a quick story. I hope it's quick to better understand that. So you used to look at the head of a pinion and it would say -2 or +2 or -3 or whatever it is, and that you were supposed to take and compare to the etch on the original pinion, and you took whatever the thickness of the original shim that came out, and then you had to do. There's a little chart.
Yeah.
You remember the charts where you would take the etch on the original and the etch on the new one, and you would go to that chart and you'd find out what you'd had to change on that shim, make it thinner, make it thicker because of the etch. That is no more.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Everything that Dana has made for at least the last 10 years is all zero etch, because the manufacturing process that's done in Fort Wayne, Indiana is so much better, and the gears are so precise. All the variability is in the machining of the housing.
Yes.
It's all in the housing. So whatever shim comes out, I don't care if there's only a shard left of it, measure it, put that same shim back in, and you're going to be so close that if you have to move it at all, you'll move it once and it'll be perfect.
And that's using the Dana Spicer, the Spicer ring and pinion when we're doing re-gear. So that's specific to process when using their parts, right? Their house parts. And that's a testament to the precision and the machining that Dana Spicer brings to it. So anything else in store for the show that you guys got going on?
No, we brought 3 Jeeps, one with a Hellcat, one with an LS, and then this one is still running stock power, all on 40s because, we like to party.
Right.
So stop by and see us at the Dana Spicer booth down at the other end of the show field.
Awesome.
Thanks, Neil.
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
to see you, buddy.
Zach just left. We have lots of friends who are coming over to say hi and hang out. I look forward to, everyone that we're going to see this weekend and talk Jeep with. We have been doing this for 12 professional years. That's nuts to say that. Good luck to everybody who's new and fresh and excited about this process. We're so proud to see how this show has continued to invest in the local community. Setup day is super valuable. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty low key. We're looking forward to, kind of just getting out and being with our friends and other, fellow Jeep owners. So many cool things to see, so many different Jeeps. And I think we're prepped and ready for an awesome weekend.